Good morning, Saidlanders. How are you? This is just our second video in a long time. As you may have learned from the first video, we had hundreds of videos that just didn't get published, and I had computer problems, endless computer problems. In fact, I'm expecting it to freeze up any moment now. There's kind of a continual threat, I think, given how much I struggled with this computer in months gone by. And then I was ill, and then I had 4 relapses after the illness. I was bedridden for 32 days, and after being bedridden I was really unwell for a couple of weeks. Then I had a proper relapse, and then, as I say, a second, a third, and a fourth relapse. And even when I wasn't relapsed, if I exerted myself at all, the next day I'd feel like, poof, I'd been hit by a train, and I'd have to take the day off. So I've done very little work, been off ill very much over the past 4 months or so. Yeah, it's been epic, not in a good way. Anyway, what do we want to talk about today? I thought I would choose something from quite some time back. This is an article published by My Broadband, which is quite a good website. If you ask me, it's a hang of a lot better than, say, News 24. On the 16th of September 2021, written by Jan Vermeulen. The headline is, South Africa's legal system on its knees after cyber attack. And it reads very briefly. I'll share it with you. Shall I do that? Why is it not picking it up? I don't know. Let's try this. There we go. It's coming slowly. Ooh. There we go. Gee, I struggle with the technical aspect of these things, man. Okay. A ransomware attack that paralyzed the IT systems of the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development has brought the Master's Office for South Africa's courts to its knees. Without a functioning IT system, the Master's Office has resorted to operating manually, causing severe delays in critical services such as handling deceased estates and child maintenance payments. Now, that's just about the gist of the thing, and I don't think that we have to really read much more of it. Here's the point. Guys, we are seeing yet another crisis among the organs of state in delivering rudimentary services to the citizens of South Africa. Now you might say, but Simon, this is a poor example that you're using, because in this case the state was the victim, not the perpetrator. There was a ransomware attack. It's not their fault. I would argue that if the state was worth its salt, the state would have IT systems that could resist ransomware attacks. But even if these hackers were the best of hackers, and no firewalls, no IT systems defensive barriers would have been able to withstand this attack, I would still say to you, isn't it the case that you are doing what we conservative South Africans have done for too long? That is to say, to try to find an excuse to exonerate and to excuse and to exculpate the African National Congress and the legacy of Saint Nelson Mandela. It's never their fault. It's ransomware attackers. It's apartheid. It's recalcitrant whites. it's lack of exposure, it's lack of education, but the reality is that we live in a South Africa in which the roads are full of potholes. You cannot believe the potholes between here in Van der Kloof and Lukhof and further on to Koffiefontein. It's unbelievable how bad it is. The education system is failing phenomenally. The employment numbers, the amount or the saturation, let's say, of employment in South Africa is disastrous. I watched a boffin speak yesterday. I think it was yesterday. An expert in the field, a researcher, and he said that South Africa's overall unemployment rate is 44% by the narrow definition. If you expand the definition, then it becomes higher. So in other words, the narrow definition excludes, for instance, people who have become so demoralized that they have stopped looking for work. It also excludes people who are underemployed, that is to say, who sell sweeties and single loose cigarettes and bananas at the roadside, and who earn 500 Rand a month and who can barely survive on that money. And the youth unemployment rate is there are a number of categories, 18 to 25, the worst of, 25 to 30, 30 to whatever, the worst of them, the unemployment rate is, in the worst of them, 74%. 74%, guys. It's a shocking disaster. So the list goes on. So when I read this article, albeit from some time back in September, my first thought is, what next? What is going to crumble next? What is going to be vulnerable next? What is going to collapse either under its weight or under the weight of a ransomware attack or under the weight of a attempted coup d'etat or under the weight of a drought or under the weight of a downturn in the economy or under the weight of a strike or under the weight of a what do you call it, a rainstorm, a flood. What next? What is going to crumble under the weight of too many young children? What is going to crumble under the weight of not enough money? What is going to crumble under the weight of a weak rand? Therefore, I say to you, guys, now is the time. If ever there was a time, now is the time to think about preparing. Think about making preparations. You don't have to become a survivalist. You don't have to become a fanatical prepper. Just take basic steps to improve your anti-fragility, viability, and versatility in the time that lies ahead of us. If you like this video, like it, subscribe please, and share it. Goodbye, and God bless all of you. Take care.